Live? Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? We're hopping right on to it here. This is indeed the preseason EU Finals. Getting right to the gameplay as it starts off Backlash and Blast. These two teams just went head-to-head only an hour ago. Maybe not even, and it was one of the most incredible matches, and specifically defensive finishes I've ever seen coming in there from Simon. But going off now for a first opportunity, it's Nilly for Backlash getting on there first. And real quick, so I am Palidore, of course, joined by Andy W, of course, and SirDimwi on analyst, and so much for subtlety doing the cams, and we're so excited to get this match underway. So now, Andy, take it away.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm a little sad I got to miss the first one, but it looks like now I'm going to be finally able to get the second one. Backlash going to be able to get that interception again. It's going to be going slightly low off that backboard. Sundance going to be able to try to recollect this with the pass forward. Going to be coming up wild off the wall with Vitrex able to recollect that and getting that through for your team.
Now going in for the grab off there. Look at that nice redirect. Getting stunned still, but Maddie will eventually find the disc. Now taking it to the other side. Vitrex another stun, and that was another story in the first Backlash and Team Gravity game. As Vitrex was honestly the first round probably won by him just purely based off of his mid-floor brawling. He was causing so much trouble by himself against 2 or 3 players at a time, it seemed like.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to bring back that same tempo. Kind of a wild pass coming up off the wall. Contested, it's going to be coming loose. Sundance able to get that pass over to Nillywick on Pebble, and wisely passing back to station. Torrent showing some of this patience. Been talking about it all day, how he's just going to hold on to this. Lure out some of the defensemen as he slowly works his way up the cloud, and he's just going to hold on to this and wait it out. Look at this defenseman kind of bouncing around on Nest, clicking his knuckles a little bit. An open pass coming forward on the Nest. Here we go. Finally working its way in, juking around the defender and putting that in for a 2. Nice little move by Sundance coming through.
Yeah, not even what I'm used to typically from Backlash, in the sense that I'm always expecting one more pass, not just a straight take like that one. But you know what? He had the angle, he had the opportunity, or he at least made it for himself, and he got it. So 4 points quickly here for Backlash.
Yeah, great start for Backlash, getting them up to 4-0. That stack nearly missing that interception from Backlash. But Lou's going to be able to try to take this up, hitting it on the block and losing it shortly. Kind of panic clearing it back, but Vitrex going to be able to collect this for Team Gravity. Coming down off the top panel, another loose pass. But Backlash going to be able to try to get this out. Vitrex again holding down that backline for his team. Cross pass moving his way up the floor. It's Al Pacino working his way around the back pass again, trying to do maybe a little bit of what just happened to them from Backlash, holding onto that disc, working their way up, luring these defenders around. A nice ceiling pass opens up that is closed off and gets contested, losing the disc again. Al Pacino able to pick that up off that drop pass from the ceiling and putting that into the goal, getting them 2 points on the board.
That was just a war of attrition there, basically, on that play. Playing it very patiently, holding it back, not forcing anything, and then finally, after a little bit of a work into the bubble, and granted a loose disc, they still found the shot. They weren't in a rush to make it happen, even though they were down the 4 points. And that's the kind of collection and just the awareness you want to see from a team competing here in a championship series, and that's what you expect.
Exactly, that's what you expect, and they're going to be giving us a close game here from the looks of it. They've been able to just do this all day. That nice wise back pass to Sundance, holding down Bowtie, waiting to try to find that pass. That ceiling pass is going to be available from Torren. Torren working his way in from Nest down to Shield, waving around. Anchor shot going to be going chest wide, and they're going to be able to clear that out. Team Gravity.
So, again, not what I expect typically from Backlash, and as a result, it will just be a tie-up from Al Pacino now. So they hit. Like I said, I usually always expect the extra pass, backboard, or to the shield, either way. But that time, just taking a straight anchor, a bit risky, didn't pay off.
Yeah, and once Dimwi and I saw them earlier playing down in that first loser bracket game and moving their way forward, you can see it a little bit when they started doing some of this. And trying to get their way through, or maybe it was just the first cast if I'm getting it wrong, but Sundance going to be able to try to move this forward, finding their pass, getting that nice low pass down to Torren, opening up that empty space, a cross pass while that boost comes in. Maddie working it across. Torren's going to be covered, trying to get that through, and Al Pacino getting a nice clear coming on through.
That was a good cutoff there in the defensive end. Just bothering them a lot is Team Gravity, and that's what they did in the last game. Again, it seemed like, and maybe this is why Backlash has taken a couple of these unusual, uncharacteristic shots, is because Team Gravity, was completely just pushing them out of their comfort zone by contesting those passes so well. Going in there is Maddie from down low, and so the goalie was being bothered, and that worked out quite well.
Yeah, their defense is honestly insane. They've been having some great zone coverage, bouncing it back and forth, just shutting out these plays. And maybe, yeah, you're right, getting some of this pressure forward on the map, not necessarily knowing where the pass is and getting caught out in some of these passes going array.
Yeah, so Viatrex will take that out now, and gotta applaud just the game plan perhaps coming into play there for Backlash a bit. Straying away from their usual stuff, but sometimes maybe you have to. You don't want to go crazy and just start doing really unusual things, but just figuring out what went wrong the past series, or more specifically, what you could have done better. That's a productive way of kind of looking at it and seeing if they can come in here with a better game plan. And so far, it's working out to at least the tune of a 2-point lead. Some stuns coming through, and that will not buy them anything but a clear off of that. So Nilly is off. Maddie's there as well, but Viatrex gets it because of the 2 overshoots from Backlash.
And unfortunately going to be hitting station, bouncing backwards. They're going to be trying to recollect this. Backlash is going to be able to try to get this forward, but a nice intercept from Lewis there. It's going to bounce up off that bottom trench onto the ceiling. It's going to be bouncing dangerous. The stack's coming in, and Gravity going to actually be able to turn that over. It looked like Backlash was going to be able to recollect there, but a great dig coming out from Team Gravity to get another 2-point to tie up this game again.
Right back and forth to the surprise of absolutely no one who knows anything about these teams, or who just watched them an hour ago, or whoever watched them last Sunday. Because, again, Backlash was undefeated for 5 straight weeks, and their 1 defeat of the preseason coming against Team Gravity, and their 1 defeat of the post-preseason, if that is such a thing, coming from Team Gravity. So, the thing is, though, close games. So, the fact that it's tied up with a few minutes left in the first, not a surprise here at all, Andy.
No, not a surprise at all. These teams are, this is what we're expecting. These are the top 2 teams. And it looks like it's going to be a nice little boost there. They're going to be able to get this working forward. Simon working up the wall, but it's going to be a cross pass down to Lewis. Lewis taking the wise back pass as the defender's crashing down on him. Going to try to see what they're going to try to set up here. They've been having a nice offensive drive with these cross passes, taking their time, just working their way in, trying to bait their defenders out. It seems like these teams are just taking turns doing this back and forth to each other. Al Pacino on that low block, sitting around waiting for somebody to push him with no pressure, no contesting. Viatrex up on that pebble, taking his time. The entire team is just doing this to each other. A cross pass, and finally slapped in by Lewis. A nice, risky cross pass, but that is a great result from Team Gravity.
Yeah, Team Gravity here coming through strong now. 2.5 minutes left, and now it's kind of crunch time. You got to figure these teams are about to hunker down. You can feel the excitement in their air as I float around through, looking just at them. Ready here, Backlash in the tunnel, coming through. Sundance with the disc, finding Torin now. Winding down this clock, 2:17 left. Right now, Backlash wanting to get ahead, but Team Gravity wanting to cause some trouble for them, not let them get that. But unfortunately, the miss on the shot. So down it goes into maybe the rebounded hands of Simon, who slings it right back out to the other side of the floor. So now a quick stack coming through. It's going to be collected there. Team Gravity cannot find the shot. So back into the bottom line it goes. And now the bottom line is it will be another possession for Backlash as it sails into the other side. Collected here by Torin. Another clear. And the pace, once again, starting to break away.
Yeah, it's just starting to take your breath away a little bit for how much we're going to have to try to cast going back and forth here. Maybe a bit of that open 3 is going to come back to bite Gravity as Backlash is going to be trying to do the best they can to take advantage of this, but Gravity working this up the floor. A nice cross pass to Lewis with that very nice soft touch pass. Simon going to be working across Lewis again, the little dynamic duo working their way through, and a shotgun coming off the backboard, and that is what they are looking for. What a successful 3-pointer coming through off the backboard, recognizing the goalie might have been a little bit out of place.
Again, he went for it. So for Al Pacino, or for Lewis and Team Gravity, I think Al Pacino had one in the last game, but they had like maybe 3 or 4 of those, it seemed like, in the first game against Backlash earlier in this today, where they went off the backboard. It looked like a risky play. They still made it anyway. So we've seen that a few times from them. It's brought them a lot of success here. So now with less than a minute left, Team Gravity in good position to upset Backlash perhaps again. Maybe to the point where it's not an upset anymore, because it's going in for maybe another score. To the pass, to the goal, but it'll be stolen, saved by Sundance and out of the way, but no time left to come back. So first round going to come to an end, but we're going to go back for a second. And just like I said before, with that first series, Backlash, I can bet you they're going to come up with some good fire in the second round.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely going to be going into the second game. Hot Sundance with that save at the end, just saying, no, that's not going to go in. Gravity with an offensive pass, but that defense going to be shutting down. Lewis trying to pick it up again, and another stun coming through. Torin trying to clear this out and give him some time, but Firetrex is in the backline and some good positioning coming through for the 3. Simon grabbing it and tapping that in, even though it might have been going in already, maybe thinking the goalie was still in there. But a nice way to end out that game.
They're not playing for points at this point. They're playing for the style, for the momentum, you know. Everyone knew that that 3-point shot was probably going to go through, but it didn't matter. It's just one of those things. It's worth more than the 3 points, you know, just to go for the stees, I suppose, you know, because that kind of stuff does have a mental effect sometimes. But now, speaking of mental stuff, we're going to shoot it over to Dimwi.
Yeah, what a big first round there for Team Gravity as they come in. Lewis with the game high points of 5, which isn't much in this series. But oh no, somebody dropping now. Hopefully don't get a restart. So I'll try to be quick here. 4 points to Al Pacino, 2 apiece to Viatrex and Simon. Maybe someone just accidentally going up into spectator mode there. I've certainly done it myself. But then big saves, 2 to Simon, 2 to Nillywick. And then, but the real thing to look at here is looking over the team stats. Possession within 12 seconds, 322 in favor of this Gravity team to 322 for Gravity, but 334 in favor of Backlash, so 12 seconds in favor of Backlash. But shots taken is really where we're going to see how this fleshes out. You've got 9 shots to 6 in favor of Gravity. So Gravity able to make more opportunities with the time they had that disc. And of course, the 3 saves apiece to each team, massive for both teams. But obviously, Gravity able to pull that one out. So really excited to see how this game goes in the second round.
Absolutely, and second round, speaking of, about to get started. So right now, it is Backlash in a position where they need to win. This was the same position they found themselves in that first series not too long ago. The question is, will we see the same results? Will they have that excellent second round and force that round 3?
Oh man, it looks like a loose disc coming through there, but Maddie going to be able to try to back this out. A good reset and a good forward pass into the bubble, and he's going to be able to put that in for a 2.
Good look there off of the kind of scrambled play. There was some contesting coming in from the defense, but the disc knocked loose, and just enough to find them one more pass into the goal.
Yeah, and a nice little hot start for them, hopefully trying to carry some of that momentum coming forward, especially since you said they found themselves in this position last time. Maybe they're going to be able to find what they did.
Oh, no.
Again, Nillywick with a snag coming through, and the 3-pointer. An excellent start to what this game is supposed to be.
Nilly doing exactly what I kind of expected. Maybe not on that play directly, but just the fact that Backlash would not be held down for very long. Whoever comes ahead here in this game, I don't know, but I do know that Backlash will not go down without a huge fight because they have been on top of their game for this entire season, and it's just no surprise to see them being able to find that mental fortitude to recollect and come back strong after a loss. And that's kind of what they're doing here, or at least trying to at the start of the second round.
Yeah, and a shot going to be dangerous going off that backboard. It's going to ding. I was not expecting that to be coming through, but it looks like Backlash is going to be able to finally contest this. But yeah, exactly, in that mental attitude coming through, it's so important. That's what you're going to be needing in these top spots, and just prevailing for Team Backlash here, hopefully trying to prevent them to get some of this lead here.
Absolutely, going in for just a wind, and why not? He will find the goal. Torin, that was almost deceptively gentle on the dunk.
Yeah, he just kind of waved it around there and then eventually just put it in about 1 meter out. So pretty much a dunk as close as you can get it. Torin with a nice little move there to bait the goalie around.
It's one of those things where, as a goalie, you see a one-on-one unfolding. You have the offensive player coming at you, and you're expecting some sort of really, strong, decisive move that comes, aggressively. But then he hits you with a slowness, and it freezes you for a second. It's like a slow ball in baseball, or a hesitation dribble in basketball, for instance, where it just throws you off.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to compare it to, and that's why you got to give goalies so much credit, especially the ones that are able to save these 2 so consistently, or try to do their best at least. It's incredibly difficult to stop those shots.
And now looking to stop that clear, will not, so sails past the hands. Backlash gonna build on that momentum perhaps with one more score, and Manny goes through from that bottom floor. It's 9 points for Backlash here in the second round, looking very strong.
11, 10.
Very strong indeed. They're just coming out. Like I said, they're going to be coming out of those gates hot, and they're just showing exactly everything they need here. 9-0. They still have 7 minutes left. There's so much time left in this game, but Backlash showing a dominant performance here.
Absolutely. I mentioned, I mean, just in the first match, I didn't quite expect the the lopsided start. Team Gravity in the very first series earlier in the day, they had that lopsided start in their favor, and then now Backlash in this one. I mean, it's the ebb and flow of Echo Arena. So maybe I guess I do expect it, because you do see these things sometimes where teams, even the best of teams, will have these little momentary spurts where it seems like they can't find the passes they want, they can't find the goals they want, but then they come right back, and that's just, like I said, the flow of Echo.
Yeah, the flow of Echo for sure. Sometimes you just need a moment to recollect yourself. Torin going to be trying to look for this pass. He's going to get above the goal, and a nice tap in by Nillywick. 11-0 now. That is a very close contested pass as Torin had somebody on him. A very nice play, though.
Man, oh man. So now it is 11 points for Backlash. Just starting to pile it on here. For Team Gravity, I mean, you're not, you have the buffer, but at the same time, you don't want to go there if you don't have to. You want to close it out as early as possible, coming in with, the round advantage, not to mention like the series advantage too. So again, as Dimwi mentioned to begin this game, if Team Gravity were to win, it would just be a one series thing here. But if Backlash won, there would be a bracket reset and there'd be a grand final. So almost getting the shot there, maybe a second attempt. Nillywick gonna back it out.
Yeah, nice little back pass there, and Nillywick being just pretty much draped in enemies. A very nice way to... surprising he still came out with it. A very good effort by him. They're going to get a forward pass through the bubble, above goal again. Torin trying to reach for it, but maybe too fast. It's going to bounce back. Sundance again with these recollects as we've been seeing all day. A low pass, just barely missing again from Torin. Collected, but it looks like Gravity here is going to be finally able to get this out.
That was a good look there for a shot that won't quite be as good, but on the rebound, fortunately, it will be Simon. He's going to go in on 3 players for the pass to Lewis, and they will find their efficiency based off of that chemistry. Always a consistent thing throughout these last 6 weeks from those two specifically.
Yeah, and these two, they're the dynamic duo. Anytime you play pubs, if you try to get on during some EU hours, you're going to see these two together playing together. They just have some great chemistry, and it always shows with those passes. They just know where each other are at without probably even having to say too much.
Exactly. That kind of telepathy is just so rare between duos in the league. I mean, there's plenty of great teams and great chemistry, duos, but you just don't see it where it's to that efficiency that fast. I mean, again, these two players, going in for that shot. These two players, maybe not new to each other, but new to Team Gravity, but certainly paying off in dividends. But Torin is going to go on in for the 13-2 lead for Backlash.
Yeah, nice little setup there again. Barely missing that 3, but then they're able to recollect and put that in for another 2-pointer. Nice cross pass up to that shoulder and working their way in. Some nice passing still coming out from Backlash and showing that composure even after the first game, that it doesn't matter, and that strong mental game shining right on through.
Now the real test is going to be here for Team Gravity. Can they do the same thing? Can they come back after a tough potential loss? I mean, granted, there is a lot of time, and given the fast-paced style of these EU matches, open threes can come in a hurry just like that. So those are the things you got to be aware of. It's not over yet, but it's even in the context of this same round. Can they collect themselves and just find their pace again?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here to see if Backlash is going to maybe just try to slow it down, if they're going to just, there's so much time left that they're just going to keep going full throttle, but extending their lead maybe, and trying to keep this 13-5 gap available.
Now, there's Viatrex doing exactly what brought him and his team a lot of success in that first round, just bothering the back line. Granted, he does get stranded there now, so it's up to his teammates to actually recover this disc. Oh, actually sails past Via, but now back to the hands, and on offense is Sundance.
Yeah, some nice juking going around, working their way around the backfield, heavily contested. Maddie's going to be good dipping down at the pocket, looking for that back pass. Sundance even getting back down into the tunnel. Finally finding a nice little cross pass up into that upper ridge, working his way through. He's going to have a lane all the way down through Nest, and a nice shot into that bottom part of the goal. Very nice effort in just taking that lane that he was given.
Absolutely, and once more, catching me slightly off guard in the sense I'm not used to the lack of extra passes in the bubble, but that was what they were getting in trouble with in the first series. So yeah, it's just the adjustment certainly paying off. It may have been a slow start in the first round of this one, but now look, they are just off and rolling. Oh, that accidentally taken, I think, off the head, and now grabbed by Nilly, so he'll find these shots, and accidental assist by Sundance.
Yeah, the accidental assist coming out. But man, Backlash, they seem to just figure it all out. They have something going on that's just so right, and they're getting those boosts to the interception of those original tunnel passes, and it's just starting to burn Team Gravity.
The thing is, it's not just the speed on their regrabs, it's the impressiveness, you know, on their redirects, where the disc goes careening into a different direction, maybe off a ricochet or something. But they're so fast at turning around, maintaining their stack, and now obtaining the shots. There's Torin with a clear, but you can maybe see it at play here for Backlash. Actually, their stack's getting broken up in the back line by Viatrex, no doubt. Yep, he's right back there with him, so no surprises. But just, yeah, those redirects, so strong as well as the speed.
Yeah, it's very easy to say, you know, it's easy to go fast when you're boosting, but being able to read those shots, it's so hard. And a long shot coming through, and Nillywick trying to slap that through, it's going to ding off. Unfortunately, that was so incredibly close. Viatrex going to be looking for that clear and finally going to be able to get it through.
Oh, no, that was looking interesting from that angle. Could have been maybe one of those sidewall shots, but I've seen a few of those this season. But either way, we'll be taken right back here with less than a minute left, looking to at least build some steam here for Team Gravity with one more shot. Perhaps it's Viatrex going down low to Simon, and he will get that one in. So there's a little bit of extra to take with you going into this intermission for Team Gravity.
Yeah, that was a hard shot to make. He kind of ended up going into more of a zero angle, throwing it almost, it looked like kind of backwards behind his head into that top part of the goal. A very impressive shot coming through from Simon, trying to get something on the board while this game is starting to wind down.
Absolutely. So right now, last 22 seconds of this match, of this round, I should say. Again, if Team Gravity wins the third here, as that shot goes through, just off, and then Maddie for the putback, but just off. In any case, though, it will be best of 5. So they still have time. It's not out of hands yet, but just need to find some recollection here with the next 60 seconds plus of intermission that they have to think about it. And, on that note, thinking about it, give us your thoughts, SirDimwi.
What a game here for Backlash, coming in 18-7 in that round 2. I don't think anyone expected either of these teams to carry any of these games quite like that, but they did. Come on in, they did pull out 2 minutes of possession time in that series, but then look at the shots taken, still about equal, 20-18 in favor of Gravity. And I think that kind of fleshes out when you look down at saves, 9-5 in favor of Backlash. And a lot of their saves coming from many different people on that team. You got Torin with 3, Maddie with 3, Nillywick with 2, Sundance with 1. Excuse me, but the game high points is going to Nillywick, still on that Backlash side, 14 points alone. Nobody even coming close to double digits yet. With Lewis Anmo and Simon both pulling up 7, Al Pacino with 4. So yeah, that was all Backlash's game there. We did see a lot of good looks there from Gravity, a lot of good passing, a lot of great defense, particularly from Backlash against Gravity. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in this game 3. And we might be going to a full 5 games in this series, which will be very exciting to see as we start now round 3.
All right, so indeed, round 3, here we go. Looking at ourselves at this finals match, best of 5, going in for the grab, and Lewis will come away with that first for team grab. And now it's going to go to the other side here where the boost coming on through. Lots of defense retreating there, and now back passing to Torin, who quickly slingshots it to the other end, but recollected in the midfield by Simon, and Simon finding the other side, but will not get there based off the bounce.
Yeah, some nice positioning coming through from Simon, being able to grab one of those passes, but a nice long pass from Nillywick, going to be trying to get that through. It's Simon again, all over the board, and it's going to be bouncing just low again. Looks like Maddie's going to be able to try to get this. He's going to be finally able to get this through for the clear. And the stack should be hopefully be trying to come through to contest this. Gravity's going to be working their way up the floor, getting these passes around and backing it out to Torin.
And Torin dishing it out to Sundance. Sundance over to Torin, right back over to now Maddie as the space out comes here. And now you can see that pressure coming out a bit from Team Gravity. This is what bought them success against Backlash in the past. It's what handed them their only 2 losses on a series for the season. So now looking for a boost into the pockets. A lot of players there clumping up, congested, and now it's ejected into the other side where it'll be taken. The goal now being covered again by Team Gravity, and now pressured in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, setting up on Bowtie, getting that down to Sundance, taking some of their time. The nice low pass available. He's going to be trying to take this in. A good pass up to Nillywick behind the net and being able to put that in while being contested.
All he needed was that small window of opportunity to find the cut, the pass, and then it was game over on that particular shot. So that's the dangers of a Backlash. Is just you can't take your eye off any of their offensive players inside that 2-point zone for even a second.
No, and that's for sure. And especially when we scrimmed them the other day, they've shown this as well. Is they're able to just get all over the floor, and if you let go of one of them, it's going to be over. Maddie going to be trying to pick this up as this goes loose around the bubble, tapping it back to the backfielder Torn here. And he's going to be looking for his passes, taking it up, holding it up on Bowtie, looking around for these passes. A nice little cross pass to Sundance. Working these defenders around. Torn's going up to the ceiling, and another back pass. Seeing this patience, seeing how they're trying to lure these people around. Viatrex moving his way forward, trying to cover this. Maddie tapping it back to Sundance. Some great passing, moving back and forth. Maddie moving his way into the bubble and up the nest, and it's going to be grabbed. Some great positional defense coming through, and the stacks coming through from Gravity, trying to beat them back into their bubble, and a shot off the backboard, and it's going to go in.
And almost saved there. It looked like, but in any case, it will still be a tie here just a few minutes into this third round.
What an incredibly close game. You can just see how it just ended up burning Backlash. They lose possession for 1 second, and Gravity able to get all the way down to the other end and punish it.
Now maybe punishing here. Team Gravity looking for a clear 3, wide open off of that. Good defense, and now 5-2 for them.
Yeah, Viatrex showing up for that stun, being able to put that 3-pointer in is so crucial. Getting any sort of lead that you can, especially that 3-pointer for his team, is going to be absolutely huge for them.
Absolutely. So now coming out here, Sundance. Looking for Nilly on the other side. Oh, another turnover perhaps unfolding. Lewis is going to be going and rolling into the goal, and that's a beautiful 3. Wow, hitting that from the outside. Tough angle. He's still got it with the defense right by his side as well.
What a shot. That is a hard shot to stop. It's hard to tell where it's going to bounce on the backboard, how sharp it's going to cut into goal. And with an 18 bouncing off that backboard just so fast back into the defenseman's face, there's not much you can do, and it almost looks like a replay of one of those backboard shots he even took earlier in this match.
Yeah, and that's been kind of one of the constants of today. They've had a few of them, and Lewis was putting in as many as any. And now looking at this, an open goal again. They couldn't quite collect it in time, but they still have a number situation. Oh, but that's a great stun from Torren. So just that extra time that they had to waste collecting the disc bought them the lack of a goal. And now finding that is a goal for Backlash. It's a 4-point game.
This back and forth is killing me, Palidore. How fast they're able to just punish each other and get down to the other end of the arena and being able to put this in. If one team makes a mistake, they just end up getting it down to the other side of the arena in under 10 seconds.
Absolutely. Now coming in here, Team Gravity, they still have the momentum, but just want to keep a hold of it. You know, don't let Backlash score twice. Don't let them feel good about themselves and what they're doing here. Trying to do just that. Oh, but Torren, so there. Those ones could be momentum building if they get the clear, get the boost, could find themselves maybe an open goal here. They play their cards right, but the overshoot, sailing past the disc for all these players will result in a much slower change of possessions here and just no goals for anyone quite yet.
Oh man, it looks like it's going to be bouncing low again, coming off the frame. Simon working his way around, bouncing off the floor. He has that pass low again. He's going to end up getting the goalie baited out there and putting in a nice 2-pointer, extending their lead 10-4. What a fantastic drive coming out again from Team Gravity.
And well done there. The defense was still a bit off balance. One of the goalkeepers had been stunned there down below and kind of had to haphazardly crawl his way back to the top while the rest of his teammates were still getting on the way back. So tough time of it, and right now trying to find it. Torren gets the disc, dishes it down. It's Nillywick with a quick pass just the same over to Nilly on the opposite side over by the wedge on the floor, and now getting stunned out before the pass, and another good cutoff there from Team Gravity, starting to show exactly what they were showing earlier in the day with a lot of that pressure every time those bubble passes were about to come on through.
Yeah, and it looks like a nice clear that's going to end up actually bouncing down into the pocket. It's going to be close to contested. Some passes are going to be available. It takes kind of an odd bounce. With Gravity going to be able to try to get another clear here. The stack's kind of coming through with a good leech coming downfield, and the boost even coming down faster. Gravity trying to get this as it bounces, kind of took a weird clear, caught me off guard there, coming off the pillar. Gravity being able to recollect Lewis with a nice open cross pass. They're going to tap it back and take their time building this momentum forward.
Absolutely. So now it'll be on the other side over here. Viatrex taking it. His team, Team Gravity, with a nice little lead, but emphasis on the word little because 6 points is absolutely nothing against a team like Backlash. That said, if they can grow it here with a beautiful cross pass just under the hands, though, of his teammates, who couldn't make the catch, as it will be rejected and back to the other side of the floor. And now looking for a boost, maybe a score. Nilly the punch, and now the one-on-one. Nilly gets it done. 10-6 now. That was a beautiful series of plays from Nilly, boosting down the floor, getting a stun, getting a goal, doing it all.
Nilly punching out the defender was absolutely clutch, and being able to take that in for a 1v1, getting rid of that extra defenseman. An excellent shot on goal as well to follow it up.
So now following it up here is going to be Team Gravity trying to find another goal to just for the rebuttal. The Maddie, this intercept is going to make the game extremely interesting if we get one more score here. That momentum I told you didn't want to build is about, to be denied. That is out of construction, and now in here, it will be taken by Lewis, going for a bounce of a clear or a pass, whatever it was recovered still by Simon. Simon's gonna go on ahead, the pass just over the hands, but right back to him, so roundabout way, pass to himself, and now can reset on this play.
Yeah, one of those nice little elaborate self passes, saving himself a little bit. Lewis is gonna be taking up this pebble, and it looks like a possibility, actually. He's going to be walking this up the lane, trying to take that low pass. Beautifully read by Torrent, getting that nice bounce clear. Going to be going all the way out through tunnel. This could be huge for Gravity, but the stacks are huge for Backlash, rather. But Gravity being able to try to beat them down into that pit. Hopefully, they should be able to try to get this nice open space. The cross pass going slightly array, with Simon going to be able to challenge that. Sundance able to win that out almost, but Simon actually wins that instead. Simon taking the shot. It's going to be slightly low. With Team Backlash. And this snag right in front of goal inside the bubble. Lewis is going to be able to put that in. What a beautiful boost and snag from those two dynamic pair.
Man, so shot was low, but so was the recovery stack, putting a patch on that injury, and now, well, causing some injury further to Backlash as they go back on offense here, but Team Gravity in good position to take this third round. Off it goes to Team Grav. And now looking, or rather Backlash against Team Gravity, and you can see them taking the defensive positioning. The one thing they don't want to give up is that three! And just as I say that, it goes right through, and now it's a 3-point game, and they are still alive.
It sounds like a lot of the commentator curse coming through, where we're talking about how they're in a good position to start taking this, and they're only down by a 3 now. There's going to be some good potential play here as the clock is ticking down. We're under 45 seconds now. Team Gravity going to be on the joust here. It's going to be interesting what Backlash is going to do with such little time. They get a nice shot coming through. The dangerous shot going to be coming low, almost a 3 for Team Gravity. Maddie trying to recollect this with a nice ceiling bounce shot that's going to be going over. Nilly just missing it, beating the offenseman there. He's going to have a chance to clear this through. The stacks from Backlash are trying to get there in time, and it's going to be going down loose in the bottom of the bubble. Team Gravity going to be able to recover this. And they own goal to put the goal away.
I know! I love it because this is the eclipse. This is exactly what happened way back at OC4. And now I just saw the big brain at play. Viatrex gets the clutch goal on his own team to take the third round. Unbelievable heady play there. And I could not be more proud. I don't know, but that was what just, I can't believe he even thought to do that, but he did it. Unbelievable. Wow.
I know we've had a couple opportunities in some of our matches to think about and do it, but we've never actually got a situation like that where it was so important and where it was loose under the bubble and they had a stack coming in and just putting it away and closing out the game. It's so incredibly smart. The 200 IQ plays coming out. That is an excellent strat, and I mean, use everything to your advantage, especially with the running clock.
It's so good. Gecko telling me to calm down because it's an obvious play. Maybe. But you know what? So is the obvious play to shoot the shot if you're Backlash. It's the timing of the play that's important here. Timing that bought them the victory there. There was still 2 players in there for Backlash. It could have just as easily been a turnaround. I mean, those are the kind of things. It's just impressive execution and preparation. You know, thinking of those things before they even happen. And that is why they're a top team here. And that's why I'm so impressed with what I'm seeing from both of these teams as we head on into this 4th round now. And this game been close as advertised, been close as that last series was earlier in the night, and I am just all kinds of excited to see how this one goes.
I am absolutely excited, especially after seeing that above goal, and it's going to be Simon in Torin's home, pretty much above that goal. You see a lot in EU where these people like to go up there, anchoring it down and in. It's such a difficult shot to stop, and putting in a nice 2-pointer, starting it off for Team Gravity.
Yeah, Team Gravity off to a good start here. Again, if they win this best of 5, that's it. There is no reset on the bracket. They got it. So right now, Backlash is in a position where they're just feeling maybe a little bit against the wall here. They know they need to win. Now that dive, it might buy them an opportunity, but wow, it's Simon coming in. So good job there. It was risky, but it did pay off.
Oh my gosh, was that so incredibly risky, and it's going to be bouncing up, but the stacks from Backlash are going to be able to save that and recover that, but an interception coming through for Team Gravity. It's going to be off the inner lip and bouncing loose on the floor, rather. And a nice back pass to try to reset this. It's going to clip the wall. Luckily, still going to be able, Lewis, to recover that. If they're looking for this cross pass, the goalie is sitting in there this time, and it's going to bounce up the sidewall. Kind of wild, a little bit crazy, and they're going to try to recollect this.
And they will off some brawls. Actually, it's just going to go off the top of the wall, the ceiling. Lewis getting stunned just as well down there in the bottom pocket. A quick pass, good heady play. Obviously, the comms coming through. They immediately knew that Vaya was there at the bow tie, but just as fast on the recovery is going to be Backlash with those stacks, and they do at least get the disc into the other side. Not for long, granted, but still. So once again, recollected here. Actually, a faster boost, but a great grab by Torin, and we'll get that out of there. So again, there is the speed.
Yeah, that speed has just been incredible on almost every EU team, but these two top teams are just showing how incredibly fast they are. Maddie going to be having a chance here to try to pass that out while getting covered in defenders. That stack just barely missing, and Nillywick going to be trying to recollect this to tap back to Torin across the floor. Sundance kind of juking out the defender and then going back to the back pass again, as we see just some of this patience coming through. Up to the shoulder, across past the Sundance. He's going to be working his way in, trying to get juke. A good stop by Simon, and he's going to be trying to clear this through.
So now it will be on the other side of the floor, taken over, and shooting the shots will be taken off the back. Again, just getting back on defense, purely based on speed and just buying themselves the opportunity to be aggressive on defense, in the mid lane because of that speed. But now looking for Torin looking for the disc, will get the pass off, but heavily contested. So Al Pacino out there. There's Team Gravity again doing what they did to bother Backlash earlier on, not letting him get those long passes. That is the key here, and what they are just banking on in order to maybe come away with this series.
Disc into the hands of blue.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Sundance is going to be finally trying to get a clear. It's going to bounce backwards off the wall. Sundance is going to be able to try to recollect it again, but Lewis is going to be there to stun this. A 1v2 opportunity going to be going into the bubble, and a nice underhand going in, getting him up 4-0 onto the scoreboard. A good positional and a good shot by Lewis there.
1v2. Absolutely, he will do. It was great look from him. I mean, the defense, again, just a little bit off balance. There were two people there, but one of them a little bit floaty by that goal. So just found the angles. And again, that just paying off for Team Gravity. You saw that defensive pressure on the other end is what helped cause the turnover initially. And we're going to see it again here. Opting for a stack a little bit, now dispersing into their defensive positioning, just cutting off. You can see in the bubble there, Torin taking position in his backboard spot that he likes. But this is why Team Gravity is pushing up, because they want to force that long pass to the backboard. And when the pass is that long, it will be intercepted just like that. So exactly the gameplay, the team play coming into play with that game plan. Love to see it.
Exactly, and some good defensive stacks being able to get back in time from Backlash, but Simon again in a good spot being able to turn this over. Viatrex trying to get down, but that offensive stack getting on their way back. Al Pacino just barely missing the disc. And it looks like Team Gravity is going to be able to beat that chain all the way back with the clear coming all the way up forward. Simon taking it again, trying to go for an open three. It's going to hit the backboard and just bounce a little bit out. Viatrex getting pressured there. Excuse me, not Viatrex, Nillywick. And Torn being able to work this forward, trying to see what he can do with this open goal. He's going to take a shot, and it's going to go slightly disarray again.
Now rolling dangerously close as a boosted Sundance approaches, but he'll get that out there, or Team Gravity will get that out there, and being contested again in the back line. It's Viatrex in a cluster up of Backlash players, stunning everyone, boosting off of them too, and just making them get rid of this disc faster than they're used to. So Via again starting to come through a little bit of a maybe MVP in this series, even just doing all the little things that really buy his team a lot of benefit.
Yeah, and there's so much, and all this pressure from how fast these stacks are really just providing forward for the team, giving them all the pressure to try to make, to miss these passes. A nice open cross pass is going to go across the top panel. Maddie going to be floating in from the shield. It's going to go a back cross pass. Sundance almost getting stuck up on a nice little juke around. Maddie going to be open on the nest again, and he's going to go in for a nice two-pointer. A nice little start to finally get them up on the board.
Yeah, it took a while here, but finally got a couple points off of there. And how come? Because they got that shot right from the middle area, right in front of the goal by the barrier of that man, this time being lost on the defense. So Maddie was able to go in and, buy them perhaps the easiest or at least the highest opportunity shot that you can get directly in front. But now looking for a good opportunity on an open goal, but will be taken out of there by Maddie. That's slung out to the other side by the wedge, and now trying to find an anchor is Nilly as he distributes it to his team across the floor, taking position. So good job there getting back, and you can see why, even when you do have those open goals sometimes from 3, it's almost like, do I take them? Because even though the other team is on the other side of the floor, they're there in like a snap of a finger. Now, going in off the tip of his head, it will be Al Pacino. I think that's the second one he's even gotten today. Earlier in the series, last series, he got an intentional one even. So right back to him. Simon will line that up from deep, but it will not meet the goal. But instead, another self-pass to him. And now distributing it back to his stack up on the front. The goal being covered loosely here by Maddie. They got a 2-on-2 unfolding. And now looking to maybe get up ahead, but they cannot. So again, missed opportunities there on the numbers, and back to the other side.
Some good defense coming through there from Backlash, being able to stop that drive as that was getting scarily close, but it's going to be an open goal left open, and they're going to ding another 3, but being able to recollect
there
that
it is
for a 2, finally putting it in is Team Gravity. A good job from them.
Right now, Andy, we got 2.5 minutes left. Team Gravity up by 4. Again, if they win this one, that is it. This is a series.
Yeah, and the scores are so incredibly close. Backlash fills out of this, but you're trying to see what they're going to adjust and what they're going to change, but Gravity just being able to punish that with how fast their team's been able to get back to goal and what they've been able to save.
Absolutely, right. So right now, again, playing from a position of being just behind by 4. They need to score 2 more as well as play some impeccable defense for Backlash. It's going to be a bit of a hill to climb here in the last couple of minutes. Certainly more than capable is this team. Trying to go for that quick clear and the quick boost, but being denied just briefly. Torren and Maddie are there. And now on the other side, Nilly, along with Sundance, just looking for clears and boosts all across the floor from duo to duo. And now off to the other side, taken here. One more score from Team Gravity will be extremely damaging, but that's a great save there from Nilly to keep it alive.
Yeah, Nilly, that's incredibly clutch to try to grab that and take that forward. A nice little cross pass working their way up. This Team Gravity, though, already back on the attack. They're going to back pass it and probably play it wise, burning some of this time off the clock. They're going to need to put some pressure up. The defenseman is coming all the way out trying to get them. A nice forward pass to Viatrex, but Torren's going to be contesting that. Sundance is going to be there. Backlash finally able to slap that out, but it looks like the boost and chain from Team Gravity are going to be able to get their first. An awkward bounce off of the catapult ring, and they're going to be able to try to clip this up.
Now 1 minute, and that was a lot of time off the clock, Andy. That's going to hurt their efforts a lot. It's still not impossible, but it's getting narrow and narrower here as Nillywick looks for a boost off Maddie. They need to find a very quick boost down the floor to hopefully buy themselves a shot. There's 60 seconds and less now than that. They need to find something really quick. So here comes a stack, or a boost, but just too many players in the goal. So now with time ticking away, it's not looking very good for Backlash. One more recovery, loses it off the wall. And over to Torren, but 40 seconds left, and that goal, that opportunity at the goal, it's closing second by second, dishing it off to Sundance. And now maybe one more chance at the goal. A passing play will buy them the 2. So there is 2 points separating these two teams. And just not a lot of time. There's 8 seconds. So basically, Backlash has to rely on an extremely timely boost, some sort of interception, and a absolute Hail Mary here coming through. So off that joust, not contested quick enough, that will be the game and the series. So Team Gravity claiming the championship here in the preseason for Europe, and they will come away with that ahead. Congratulations to them, handing the only 3 defeats of the season for Backlash to them single-handedly.
Congrats to
And
Team Gravity. They've done everything to earn it. That was an impressive game. That was so difficult.
I was gonna say, I even recommend unmuting the comms. The very, very friendly, sportsman-like comms on that one. But back to the tunnels they go because of the way the rules were set. All good, but nonetheless, so impressive there. And yeah, off to you and to Dimwi after that.
So, yeah, that was a game of defense right there. It doesn't flesh out explicitly in the stats, but we do see 5 saves going over to Backlash in that series, despite 13 shots coming in from Gravity. And really, possession time is what I want to make a big note of here, as 40 seconds in favor of Backlash in that series. And they come into that last game with a 3-minute possession time. So that's almost 4 minutes of possession time in the series overall in favor of Backlash. But it fleshes out Gravity with a big win here, 3-1 in the best of 5 series. So we'll end it in Gravity taking that championship as the game just moves on into that round 2. That's not actually going to happen. But yeah, what an amazing performance from both teams here. Just great offense, but even better defense. As we saw, neither team able to pull up in the double digits in that game there. What an amazing performance there. Now we are waiting on Gravity to send one of their players into that Pod 1 channel for that post-game interview. So in the meantime, well, I guess before I go into anything about the community, if you guys want to keep just go on about what you saw in those games. I guess Andy, if you want to.
Well,
Yeah,
I was here. I was gonna dip for in case we have the interview. So Andy can take that away. I will communicate with the players and see if any of them want to.
Yeah, I was just, you have to highlight the big brain play that happened. I saw somebody bring it up in the Twitch chat. I was going to bring it up. That self goal in the last round to make sure that they secured that lead was absolutely clutch, and some big brain thinking coming out from Team Gravity. A very nice drive and a very good effort from both teams. The stacks, both teams just absolutely showed up in the speed department, boosting up and down the arena, being able to punish each other. How often they were able to just get a clear, boost down to the other end after they were playing defense for at least a solid minute and a half, and punish a 2-pointer with such a low scoring game at the end was a fantastic match to watch. And Backlash just doing their best, but not able to come out with it. Absolutely happy for Team Gravity with an excellent win they pulled out here.
Absolutely. So now looks like Viatrex does want to be interviewed there. Actually, a lot of them going in the pods. 4 of them, all 4 in there. So let's see. Let's go in the 8-party pod perhaps, and we can get that done real quick. All of us will transition over, and we'll have an interview right here. Gravity.
Hey.
Well, hello. Congratulations to Team Gravity and Viatrex here, the winners of the preseason championship. And that was an incredible game. I don't want to take away too much from Andy here because I think he's supposed to technically do the interview, but just want to say that was incredible adjustments you made. I can't even the heady plays, that self goal, especially coming from me, and it harkened back to the old days. But that was so smart, and then the way you guys played defense, amazing. But now I will hand it off to Andy because he probably has some questions for you. But congrats.
All right.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's a little bit of a last minute idea to do these interviews. I'm glad you guys hopped in here to do it. Then we might have to help me out here a little bit, but how did you guys go through coming up? I know you guys kind of struggled maybe in the beginning, you guys adjusted, but what was that big shift into that 4v4 meta where it finally clicked? What was the change?
Throughout the season, I mean, at the very beginning, we're like still a new team, right? Simon, Lewis, Alp, they all just started early in this year. I think Alp even started in December last year. Like, they're all really new guys, but incredibly skilled guys. And it just took a time. Like, we just had stuff we wanted to train through from the beginning. We started like 2 weeks before the actual preseason started. And I mean, I didn't want it to have like a start where we just wreck everything, and we don't wreck anything still. But we got closer and closer. At some point, started winning, and then we're at the spot that we are now, and I'm happy.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely happy for you guys. I'm glad you guys were able to pull that out. Yeah, definitely kind of one of the newer teams coming forward. Simon and Lewis being one of the newer teams, kind of having that dynamic duo, that speedy boost that was helping you guys out a lot. You guys were able to pull a lot forward. And I think Dimwit here might have a question for you.
Well, yeah, so we saw in that round two, the only round you guys pulled a loss in here, coming down 18-7, so I'm just curious because that kind of defeat in a round can definitely play some games with your own head. So I'm curious what your comms were like going into that round three after that big downturn in that round two. Just what you guys were talking about, what sort of things you were talking about adjusting, and what was in your heads at that time as you came back through that round three, and then obviously into that round four to pick up the win.
Well, in game two, Backlash just had us totally on the slow play. So they just heavily marked us when we had no chance to find an open pass, and they absolutely abused it. And then they're also incredible at just like playing down when they have an advantage. Like they just baited us out, and then we had no chance to come back out of this game. But we didn't adjust too much into game 3 and 4. We just knew we had to play our plan and basically don't fall behind. So we forced them into our bubble, and then we do our normal zone marking, which worked out pretty well, to be honest, today. And then that was the whole deal, I think.
And I just had one question too, kind of on the related note from earlier. Was that own goal thing something you actively planned before, or was that spur of the moment where you just realized,
fair,
oh,
we were scrimming Backlash earlier today, and out of fun, we was like, wait, if you actually score in the last 20 seconds with, let's say, 3 seconds respawn timer, 12 seconds where the countdown goes, and maybe more 2-3 seconds until they reach your half, it was like, okay, if you score in the last, let's say, 20 seconds and they need a free, you just scored it too and they can't come back. And then out of
Absolutely.
fucking nowhere, that one chance appeared, and I instantly
wow, we're banned now.
Yeah, it's like, wait, that actually worked.
It absolutely did. And so I just basically you applied something you just thought of today and you realized earlier, and just hours later, it
Yeah.
paid off in bunches, because Team Gravity, the winners based off of things like that, those little heady last minute plays right there. Same with the first series earlier in the day. Just want to say, I mean, Simon, that most incredible defensive stand I have seen,
Oh, yeah.
period, in a final minute or so of gameplay.
Oh, yeah,
He had
absolutely.
two
Thank
clutch
you.
saves. You're welcome. Thank you for that, because he had two clutch saves. He had a punch and a steal and a clear, and then the intercept to end it all off. I mean, that's 4 or 5 things in a row in that final minute to secure that first series. And it was just incredible gameplay from you guys.
And he didn't dab. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
And so I guess before we end it here, before we go into what's going on in the community postseason, just if any of you guys have anything else you'd like to say to any of the other teams, anybody watching out there, maybe say hi, Mom, or maybe going to Disney World or anything like that. But feel free right now. Go ahead.
No, I just wish the best of luck for the NA teams, and I hope they give me some incredibly good matches to watch.
And
Wants
Lewis?
good games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys, for doing that interview. That was big for us here. We were very excited to be able to get you in here. So thank you so much for coming in for that interview. So just to end cap, excuse my clicks there, just to end cap this cast here, just to talk about what's going on in the community as we end this European Championship Series in the postseason. So Saturday, December 21st at 1 p.m. Central, that is 1900 UTC or 7 p.m. London time, there will be an Echo Combat tournament. So if you're interested in that, make sure keep an eye out for the announcements, as those will be coming out. I'm sure. I believe there was some sort of form of announcement that has gone out. I'm not sure about signups just yet, but that will be happening as well. Echo Grand Prix, this has not been officially announced, so this will be the first official announcement. Echo Grand Prix will have an open race event, and that will be happening Sunday, January 5th at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, 6 West. Unfortunately, probably a little bit too late for our European buddies over there. But if there are any Europeans that do want to participate in that, they are welcome to. We will get an official announcement in the Discord out as soon as possible, probably coming out tomorrow night as well. Pick'em nights are, of course, still running every Tuesday night. So anyone who wants to play with some of the high-level players that love to participate in that, anybody is welcome to join those pick'em nights as well. I thought I had seen whispers of boot camp coming back in the offseason, but I haven't been able to confirm that, unfortunately. So it may or may not be happening. So if it does, just keep an eye out for that as well. So if Palidore, you want to go ahead and send us off here. So go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Dimwi, you know what else is still coming up? the North American Championships, my friend. We got a lot of great games still going to happen later on in the day, and I can't wait for them because we will be seeing over there at Synapse as well as versus Respawn Joker. We got Orbit Illuminati. This is going to be a just unbelievably stacked night of games coming up later. That's at 5:30 Eastern, and I believe.
You are correct, sir.
Yes. My math is sometimes bad, but it's going to be a good one, and we're going to be starting that off with not sure who all is casting. I mean, you've been giving your voice all day long and all weekend long, so you're kind of hanging in there, and hope to see all of you guys there. But to the Twitch chat, thank you for joining us today, and what a series of plays and from the European teams. Once again, congratulations to Viatrex and Team Gravity.
Thanks again.
And with that said,
I was just going to say thank you for Team Gravity for coming in here for this interview. This was absolutely amazing for you guys to do that for us. So thank you again for doing that.
For sure. So
yeah, thanks.
Absolutely, Lewis. And now it will be the end of this stream as we wind it down, but not for very long. So I've been Palidore here, along with SirDimwi, Andy W. So much for subtlety and wit as well, casting and doing cams throughout the day. Thank you all for joining us over on Twitch. You guys rock, and we'll see you very soon for the North American Championship Series.